Well, I want to welcome you to Hope Starts Here, where our goal is to see Jesus more clearly and to love him more dearly and to follow him more nearly. And it always helps me to have some kind of light nearby as a reminder that Jesus is the light of the world and that he says to you and me, let your light so shine. And then I want to invite you now, I'll often do this, to take a moment to just still your mind. And you might relax your body and breathe in a deep breath of hope and breathe out fear. And then breathe in a breath of God's strength and breathe out fatigue. Because what we see today is vulnerable Jesus and in fact tired Jesus. This is so amazing to me about our Lord, the God of the universe, the Messiah. In John chapter 4, where Jesus is going to have this remarkable conversation with the Samaritan woman at a well, the story is begun by saying that Jesus learned the Pharisees had heard he was gaining disciples. And so he left Judea and went back to Galilee. Now, Galilee was his hometown. Judea is where Jerusalem was. It's where the power was. And this meant that Jesus was in danger. And out of vulnerability, he decided to return to his home region where it was safer. And then what's really striking is he reaches a well, a very well-known well that still exists today. And we're told that Jesus, as the disciples go on to try to get food, but he sat down by a well because he was tired from the journey. And I think about in our day how leaders are supposed to be energetic and leaders are supposed to be strong. I remember hearing when I was first starting out learning about leadership, speed of the leader, speed of the team. As a leader, you never want to admit to other people that you're worn out. But Jesus admits to his disciples that he's tired. And actually, it's because he's tired and remains at the well that he has what is the longest conversation with anybody in any of the Gospels. Amazingly enough with a woman, amazingly enough with a Samaritan woman, amazingly enough with a scandalous Samaritan woman who had been married 5 times and was now with a man that was not even her husband. And all of this happens because Jesus was tired. And he was willing to let his friends know, his followers know, I'm tired. And I wonder today, in the middle of shelter in place and the virus and all of the stress, I wonder if you're tired. I wonder if you've ever thought about the fact that God might use your tiredness as much as God might use your energy. I wonder if these might be days when it would be good for you just to rest with Jesus at the well. We're told as he engages in this conversation with a woman that he tells her that he's thirsty and asks her if she could give him something to drink. And again, it's out of his neediness that ministry happens. And so she gives him a cup of water and they start talking. And Jesus says, if you knew the water that I offer you, you could drink of it and never thirst again. And there's this wonderful line, the one that comes to me and drinks, Jesus says, the old King James Version says, out of his belly will flow rivers of living water. And that idea of out of the belly, the core, even in our day, to have great healthy abs is like the supreme prize. If you're with somebody right now, show them your abs right now. And what Jesus is saying is, if you come to me, you don't have to live with thirst. That's chronic unsatisfied desire. A little later on, the disciples bring food, and Jesus says, I have a food that you don't know about. He's the hungry, tired, thirsty man who lives among us. I love that about him. And now to follow him today, bring him your tiredness. Bring him your thirst. Make this season of sheltering in place a time of resting in God. And I'll see you tomorrow.